Hi, we're now in the start of grant writing season, and I want to talk to you about your plan. What is your plan this year for grant writing? What is your grant writing plan? What is your funding plan for 2019? So, right now, grant writing season is starting. We're on the tippy top. The corporations, the foundations, the state, the federal government is coming out with their grant funding opportunities, and they're making it available for city government, public housing authorities, tribal organizations, nonprofit organizations to apply to do their work to make a difference in their communities, in the country, dare I say, even in the world. So, what is your plan exactly this year for funding? Whatever budget you have, I'm pretty sure it's probably a little bit strained. Almost every organization I know of and work with, they can have a strained budget, meaning their existing funding source, it's either being decreased or eliminated because programs are eliminated every day. And so you have to look at new income streams. You have to start thinking outside of the box where you will get your funding from. And grant funding is a very valid, legitimate, viable funding source for you to get streams of income consistently coming into the organization. So you must start thinking about that. What are the grant funding opportunities I will apply for this year? My residents, my constituents, the participants that I serve, they need help. They need additional assistance to get them education, to get them employed, to get them disability assistance, to get them all the resources so that these participants can reach economic self-sufficiency and get assistance to live more independently. So you have to start thinking about what programs you can bring to them, what programs you can start so that you can assist your participants more. We all need to be doing more. So grant funding is a valid, legitimate source of income that you can bring into the organization so that you can continue to fund your programs that the funding source is either being decreased or eliminated, taken away from you. So you need to be doing more. So you need to apply for more grants. You must apply for more grants. But the fact that you have the intention to apply for more grants, what does that really mean to you in a practical sense? What is the practical application of applying for more grants? Well, you have to do the math. You have to do the numbers. So, if the average grant writer in the country, if you have a grant writer in-house, if you outsource your grant writing to a contractor or to an independent grant writer, the average grant writer, and I'm just talking about the average, there is below average. You have some writers, they're below average, and you have some writers, they're above average. But I'm just talking about the average grant writer. The average grant writer will win 25% of their applications that they apply for the year. So what does that mean to you? Let's round it off and say that the grant writer will win 30%, right? So we're going to give them that 5%. So if they apply for 10 grants, only 3 will win. If they apply for 10 grants this year, only 3 will win. So how many grants do you actually want to win this year? You must do the math. How many grants do you want to win this year? Do you want to win 1? Do you want to win 2? Do you want to win 3? Well, if you want to win 3, which is the average, you have to apply for 10 grants this year. That's the reality of the situation. So if you have a grant writer in-house, if your goal for your grant writer is to bring in 3 grants this year, maybe each grant is $500,000 or $1 million or $2 million, it depends on how much these grants are. If you want your grant writer to win at least 3 grants this year, you must have your grant writer do 10 grants this year, a minimum of 10 to achieve the average. Right? So remember, across the country, the average grant writer wins 25%, and we're going to round it off to 30% of their grant application. So if you would like to win 3 grants this year, you must do 10. If you want to win 6 grants this year, you must do 20. There is no going around it. There is no, oh, I'm just going to apply for 1 and see what happens. If you do that, you're setting yourself up for failure. That is failure for the organization, failure for you, and failure for the participants that you serve. There is no sitting there for 12 months out of the year, 12 months in the year, and just applying for 1 grant. That's the recipe for total and complete failure. If you want to set yourself up for success, and I believe that's everyone's goal, if you want to set yourself up for success and your measurement of success is you must win a minimum of 3 grants this year, then you must apply for 10 grants this year. If you want to set yourself up for success and your definition of success is 6 grants this year, you must apply for 20 grants this year. It's the start of grant writing season. We're just getting started. Funding agencies are coming out with their grants more and more. I see grants being announced every day. We're starting. The peak of the season is starting. Get yourselves ready. Start applying for these grants. So at the end of this year, you actually have something to show for it. Get your applications in. Apply for these grants.